Many people are asking questions about online security after hackers released hundreds of explicit photos of actors and models online. The hackers got access to pictures of Hollywood stars, which were believed to have been stored in the online cloud used to back up material.
Over recent months, stories have also emerged of so-called revenge porn, where ex-partners upload indecent images of people without their consent. Our reporter Chris Page has been speaking to Charlotte Laws from Los Angeles, who's a former senator and campaigner against revenge porn. He asked her how she became interested in the issue.
It began when my daughter was hacked. She had taken some photos of herself in the privacy of her bedroom with her cell phone in the mirror, and she had sent the photos to store on her computer through her email. And of the 100 or so pictures she took, one of them was topless. And 3 months later, that picture was hacked from her email and appeared on the most notorious revenge porn website called asanyoneup.com. And she found out about it, and she told me about it. I had never even heard of revenge porn at that point. And I quickly learned that one of her friends had also been hacked and thought that there might be a hacking scheme in place. And I used to be a private investigator. I also worked for the FBI for a short period in 2006, I believe it was. So I launched my own investigation while I was trying to get my daughter's picture off of that website, and I found out that 40% of the people I contacted who were depicted on that site had been hacked, and 12% had been photoshopped. And I contacted the FBI, and I convinced them to take the case, I think because I had so many victims and so many names and numbers and people who had, been illegally, their information had been illegally obtained through their emails. They decided to take the case, and Hunter Moore and the alleged hacker were arrested in January of this year, and the trial begins November 18th of this year in Los Angeles.
Based on the conversations you've had with victims, your daughter and others, I mean, what effect does it have on them? It must be horribly distressing.
Oh, it's horrible. I mean, it can literally ruin a person's life, because this picture, once it's on the internet, it may never go away. And even if you get it off of one site, it can pop up on another. And it could be 10 years later, 20 years later. Your children could be at nursery school and their friends see the picture and start circulating it around the school 20 years afterwards. So you never know. It can ruin job opportunities. Victims have killed themselves over revenge porn. They've tried to change their name. But if someone's stalking them, of course, that person will then find out the new name and then attach those photos to your new name. So it's really devastating for the women. They're like rape victims, like traditional rape victims, which is why I call this cyber rape. It is definitely a sex crime.
Just thinking about the story that we've heard in the last few days, that hundreds of pictures of actors and models, explicit pictures, have appeared online after a hack. Many people have been saying they just can't believe that hackers were able to get access to these personal pictures. Is there basically no limit to what hackers can do?
Well, if you are really good with the computer, you can get past security. I mean, that's what I've been told by, I have now friends in the underground group Anonymous who I've talked to on the phone on various occasions, and that's what they told me, is that if you're really talented with computers and with networking, you will be able to get whatever you want.
Yeah, very frightening thoughts, I suppose. So what then should governments be doing to try to stop these sorts of things happening?
I think that putting criminal laws in place is the most important thing to eradicate non-consensual pornography. And I know Israel has already passed a law. We have laws passed in 14 states here in the United States, and there are 18 pending bills. And I know a lot of countries are looking at it seriously because there have been victims who have killed themselves over this, and that gets politicians' attention very quickly.
What do you think would be the best way to frame a new criminal law, and what, in your opinion, would be an appropriate punishment for the men who are behind this?
Well, they should definitely go to prison. My approach to coming up with a law is a little bit different than most of the other people you will hear speaking about this issue. We have a law, 18 U.S.C. 2257, in place. It's a federal law in the United States, and it's an indexing law for the porn industry. And so basically what it says is that the porn industry, for them to depict any picture or video, they have to have a driver's license on record of any actor or actress in those pictures or videos. And the reason why this law was put in place was to eradicate child pornography. But I think that you could not only have to have a driver's license, and it should be extended to revenge porn, but you would also have to have a consent form on file. And I think that would be a very easy way to change the law that would not alarm the First Amendment people who are very freaked out about any laws that curb speech whatsoever.
Chris Faye's there speaking to a former senator and campaigner against revenge pornography.